So welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Today is our 5D forum. And usually my dear husband says the introductions, but he's gone mute for some reason. What's
not
going
on
on,
mute.
babies?
Why am
No,
I
you've
muted?
gone mute. No, you're not on mute, but you've gone mute. You
Oh,
usually do
babies.
the introductions.
Grow up. Sometimes I have to pass the baton.
You grow up. I gotta do a release. It's gonna be a juicy session today, but now that I said that, I'm probably gonna jinx it. But the adepts have been giving me a lot of information to give you guys. Babies, they want me to do a song. It's frustrating because this one I always sing off key by accident. In every heart there is a room, a sanctuary safe and strong, to heal the wounds of lovers past, until a new one comes along. I spoke to you in cautious tones. You answered me with no pretense. And still I feel I've said too much. My silence is my self-defense. And that is why my eyes are closed. It's just as well for all I've seen. And so it goes, and so it goes, and so must you soon, I suppose. But if my silence made you leave, well, that would be my worst mistake. But you can make decisions too, and you can have this heart to break. And every time I've held a rose, it seems I've only felt the thorns. And so it goes, and so it Marvin is saying in his mind, oh God, the second verse too. Okay, that's enough. Babies, you gotta stop being so transparent.
Self-defense, babies.
Get it? His silence is a self-defense. At least you were listening to the words.
I was. It's Billy Joel, right?
Yes, Billy Joel. Although
Thank
he
you,
would
babe.
probably cringe at getting credit for that.
Whoops. We should probably.
An interesting story. So I learned that song like 6 or 8 years ago. I think 8 years ago, around 6, maybe 7 years ago. I don't know. But and it was so vulnerable and so raw. I listened to it for a whole week and I cried and I cried and I cried. And every time I listened to it, I cried. And then I really wanted to reach out to Billy Joel and I really wanted to like do healing for him. And then I'm just like looking at information about him, and lo and behold, his mother just died that week. And so lots of times from the other side, a loved one will reach out for someone who's still in the physical. So this is my reality. It's my reality. So Billy Joel's mother reached out to help him ease the crossing for him and his daughter, his one daughter and stuff. So, yeah. So true story. Anyway, did you guys know that Marvin doesn't even understand half the things I say? Look at, you can see by the look on his face, like, this is like, I'm pretending to get it. I don't know. And he's just dumbfounded that you guys seem to all understand what I'm saying and you're not looking confused. Do you guys understand me when I talk?
Yes.
It's so funny. So Jen and Therese every now and then are having a chat and I'm sort of just in the background listening, and they're just having a wonderful little chat, and I can't compute all the words, but apparently they get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the difference between the way Marvin and I communicate, it's really important, and it can help in relationships. Apparently Marvin communicates with words alone. Isn't that crazy? And he'll fill it in with ideas that are attached to the words. But you guys, for the most part, we're communicating in energy, images and whatever, energy, and we're just using words to fill in the pieces. And we're on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So when you're having like relationships and stuff, you got to make sure you're both on the same page. Are you both talking in words, or are you talking in feelings, or are you talking in imagery? You got to make sure that your dictionaries are lined up. So Marvin's listening to us talk, and he's saying, wait a minute, Therese can't understand you. You didn't say this. You just like tell her what you're talking about. And like me and Therese are surprised. She's like, she knows. I even say the wrong dog. I called Milton Merle, and he goes, you meant Milton. I go, yeah, I know, but she knew I meant Milton. She had no problem with it. And he's just getting like, he wants to pull his hair out and stuff.
So yesterday we recorded a Jen's Gem, but I only just uploaded it onto YouTube, called Making Love in Higher Consciousness. It's still actually only processing on YouTube. And we talk about this a little bit, and it's actually quite fun. So you might want to have a look at that one. That was actually a good Jen's Gem.
Did we teach them what making love, physical making love is in the higher realms?
I think we spoke about it.
Did I explain that to you guys before? Oh, this is juicy. See, there's so much to get to, and I'm so frustrated. Okay. So Marvin and I are convinced that sex in the fifth dimension is different than it is in the lower worlds. In the lower worlds, it's all root chakra, primal and stuff, like, you know, right?
Babies.
But
come on, this is a family show.
Babies, I'm talking in energy.
Of course you are.
Oh, babies, do your imitation. Do our imitation of Milton humping Maisie.
No, babe.
He looks like he's so cute. He's the littlest dog. I told you this was going to go afoul because I wanted it to be stupid. So
this is going to go pear-shaped real quick.
And he looks like Danny DeVito. Actually, he looks like Al Pacino, but when he's humping Maisie, he looks like Danny DeVito. And then remember, Danny DeVito used to go. So we do this imitation of Milton, and he going. You do it better, babies, with a cigarette. Do it.
No, anyways, this is a family show.
Oh gosh.
All right, babies.
So you're going to explain to everyone the difference between lovemaking in
good, thank you.
The higher dimensions versus the 3D.
Babies, you just have to deal in those colors, black and white. I have to deal in all those colors of the rainbow, and it's like a bigger range. So what making love in the lower worlds is basically lining up the root chakras, right? So So in the retreats, when I give the retreats, I do this download with people where we meet forehead to forehead, and I gift them all these intentions of everything I am. And then me and Marvin were doing that. I was gifting him all that, and then he returned it and gifted me things that he's better at than I am. And it's like, that's a line in our higher chakras. That's an upgrade from what's happening in energy in the lower realms to what's happening in the higher realms.
Give it a go. It's quite surreal.
And it's anticlimactic and stuff. But the beauty of that is you don't need to have to just make love to one person. You can make love to everyone. And that's part of what what the adults want me to explain to you. So I had a dream the other night, and it wasn't a dream. It's my dreams aren't dreams. They're actually me doing stuff. You know, I'm like working, and I'm sure it is for you guys too, but for me, it's like there's a little separation between sleeping and working, except I work a lot harder when I'm asleep than when I'm awake. So I was like in this school, and there were a lot of women there and stuff, and I was going to show them what I do, but I was doing something. I learned to do something new in this thing that I didn't know I was able to do. So with this one girl, she had this crush on Tom Cruise. She loved Tom Cruise. So I said, do you want to know what it feels like to be totally loved by Tom Cruise? And so I had her face sit in front of me, and I leaned into her, and I totally gave her the experience of being loved by Tom Cruise. And her eyes started to well up, and she really felt it.
Was it good for her?
Wow, babies, don't desecrate the moment, babies. Kidding. Yes, it was good for her, babies. It was good for me too, because I was giving and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's okay to just give and not receive, babies.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I interrupted your story.
I know. So anyways, the next person, I was just kind of showing off because I'm like getting used to this new skill too. So this next person, I don't know why they'd want this, but they wanted the experience of a dolphin. Oh, I know. A dolphin swimming into their body and swimming out the other side. And I didn't know until right now what the adepts were showing me, but it's like the body is that fluid. You can change the bones in your body. You can treat your body as a fluid energy. And you can, that's why the healing is so easy for me, because I use the imagination, and I can like conjure up any kind of technique or imagination and do it in energy with conviction that it's shifting something, because I've had enough experience shifting people that it's like, well, I can just make something up. And so I'm going to teach you a couple techniques on how to do that for yourself. I'm going to teach you how to do medical intuitive, and I'm going to teach you how to pull out your own stagnant energy from your physical body.
By the way, not to interrupt, but for those that haven't or either missed the last week's 5D forum or haven't watched the video again, recommend that you do, because you gave a lot of techniques on healing your own body.
That's how easily I can get thrown off. So you guys have experienced that in your own way. Pay attention to how you get thrown off, and be kinder to yourselves. Like when you're doing your mothering thing, or someone comes along and wants you to do something else, or you're in the zone with what you're doing, and then you got to address something else, and it may change your mood or your reaction or everything. There's a reason it's changing it. It's like an equilibrium. When I'm talking about energy and talking to you guys, it's up to the highest caliber, and it's like holding that space of that higher thing. And then when male energy comes in and starts talking technology, it's like slamming. And it's fine. I have to learn to toggle and everything. But if I have to learn to toggle, everyone has to learn and understand what we're doing in energy at the same time. So it's not so linear. I have to jump around now because I'm a little bit thrown off. I was outside in the morning. I eat my cereal outside, and I was feeling really grateful this morning. And I was thinking, well, how do you pray? Like, if I don't believe in a God in the sky, how do you pray? And then I was shown how I'm still thinking linear. Even with all the energy work I do and all the creative imagination work I do, I still think linear because I'm thinking of source. Okay, I'm here, and source is up here, and I have to pray, or I have to connect to source here. And then I got corrected. No, source is not up here. Well, it is, but source is everywhere. Everything around you is source. Every single thing you do is source. Everything you touch, breathe, taste, smell, think, anything, express, it's all source. So when you are thinking of source as this light in the sky or whatever, you're still being duped by old conditioning. That's just the old God consciousness without a body and just a light in the sky. That's how I was seeing source. But then they showed me, do you want to pray to God? You want to touch source? You don't send out one intention to connect with source. If you want to connect with source, you send out a squillion or gazillion, whatever, how many you want, of intentions for all of humanity, because humanity is source. So the more that you send out your pure intentions to uplift all those around you, are kind to everything around you, then you can connect to source. But you can't pick and choose. You can't say, well, I like these people because they're awake and these people are haters. It's all part of source. So it's like you have to learn to love everyone, everything, every being, if you want to connect to source. Questions? Does that resonate? Am I saying it right? Look, you're all scared to say anything now. Marvin says I make you guys too scared to talk, but we do want this more interactive.
No, I'm just taking notes.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Makes sense.
Yes.
So, babies, did you get that?
I mean, the idea is fine. Yep.
So anyways, about the gifting part. There's this thing that Teresa and Michelle know that I do is like rip off layers of ego. And it's like very painful and stuff. But like last week, I got my layers ripped off and stuff. And so the universe is showing me how when people show up together, they're all trapped in their own linear concept of ego. And so when people show up together, I'm sorry, it's really hard for me to get here for you because I want to get this right. When people show up, they're doing one of two extremes. They're either showing off their gifts because they've been trained to like be the best they are, show how pretty they are, how smart they are, how rich they are, how strong they are, right there, and show all their best stuff. Or if they feel comfortable, they share their traumas. Oh, I'm feeling sick, I feel sad, So they're doing one of the two, either being vulnerable in the negatives and dumping on each other, or having a pissing contest with each other, a silent pissing contest with each other. But both of those extremes aren't helpful in the higher dimension. So what we need to do is train the collective. Train the collective to show up for each other in positive ways, but not in a pissing contest way. I was friends with this celebrity who was, a model in her day, and really pretty. And the thing is like, okay, I don't need to be the pretty girl because she's in the world, she's doing her thing, and she can't do what I do, but she can be pretty. So let her stay in her lane and be pretty. I can't do the things that you guys do. I can't be the great mother. I can't be the compassionate one. I can't be the smart, polished one. I can't be the cleaner, the calm one. I can't show up and just do the things. I don't show up in the physical world like you guys do. So when you show up, figure out how you can show up with your gifts and share your gifts with everyone else without making it about the ego.
Yes.
Yes, it's in the being, not so much in the doing.
I used to have a little human being doll when I was a little kid. It was a bean. It was like a baked bean with legs and arms. And it was a human being. Bean. Did you guys start giving me something back? Because I started
Yeah.
feeling like you guys are
Yes.
starting to give it back.
Yes.
I can feel it. So what we're doing here is it's not about me and it's not just about you guys. It's about retraining the collective. Because what we do here, you guys have heard of a think tank. This is a golden heart tank. So this is what Angela, which child is that? Is it Evelyn?
Evelyn, yes.
Can I say hi to Evelyn?
Yes. Come here. Come here. You're going to be shy now? Come here.
Evelyn, even though you're not on the screen, can she hear me?
Yeah, she can hear.
Can you do me a favor, Evelyn? Can you do
What?
me a favor?
What?
Your mommy, you know how you're tired and sometimes you just want to play with your toys and be left alone? And you don't want your brother to bother you?
Yeah, and you say you want space?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, your mommy wants that with me right now. And I can't help everybody if your mommy's distracted with talking with you. Is it okay if your mommy pays attention to what I'm telling her for like a little bit? And you get to have her the rest of the week.
Okay.
Did I make you feel bad?
Where?
Is that a yes?
You okay? So yeah, mommy will spend time with you after this, okay? All right. Sound good? Deal? High five. Deal? Oh, she's shy.
Evelyn. Uh-oh, Evelyn, I'm feeling bad because I think I made you feel bad. Did I make you feel bad, Evelyn?
Did you? Did she? You gotta talk to her.
I feel bad now. Do you want me to feel bad?
Do you feel bad now? Or are you okay? Can you use your words? Okay.
All right.
It's okay.
I'm going to do a release for her, Angela. Evelyn, I'm going to do a release for you. I'm going to make you my monster sounds for you. Watch, this is for you because you're mad. That's you. That's right in your belly. Can you feel it come out of your belly? Push it into your belly so I can get rid of it. Uh-oh, there's some in your cheeks. Let me get it out of your cheeks. Uh-oh, you know what? There's a little bit in your butt. It makes it hard for you to poop sometimes because it's in your butt. So I'm going to make it easier for you to poop now. Is that good? Watch. Now, next time you have a poop, you got to think of me because I helped that poop come out. Okay? You can even call that poop Baby Jen. All right? All right, let me know when Baby Jen is born. All right.
I'll let you know. Okay. Why don't you go poop now? Go. Go for it.
All right, go make Baby Jen so mommy can watch.
That's gonna be like a constant thing now. It's gonna be like Baby Jen.
Well, people won't name their children after me, so maybe they'll name their poops after me.
Baby Jen.
It's gonna go viral, you know.
It's so
I'll be
funny,
reading
though.
the Dolly.
It's so funny, right? So, we work tirelessly 24/7, years and years and years, and this is the thing that's going to go viral.
Right. I'm gonna meet the Dalai Lama and he's gonna say Baby Jen. Okay, she's okay. So, I wanted to give you guys this technique to get stagnant energy out of yourself. And it's like adding some few steps in it. So it's kind of fun. Has anybody seen those acne commercials where you take this Strident pad and you put it on your nose, or you take a mask and you put it on your nose and then you peel it off, and then your pores, you have all these blobs coming out of each pore, and there's like these shards of gunk coming out of each pore?
Yes.
Well, Mike, Teresa will explain it then. I'm sorry if you've never seen that. I don't know what to do if you haven't seen it. Can you visualize it?
I've seen it.
Thank you. Mike's telling me no, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. You can't visualize?
Oh, yeah, I definitely visualize it.
But you
Oh,
said no. You shut a door on me. Why'd you say no?
yeah. Oh, I hadn't seen the commercial, but I can visualize it based when you described it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're with us?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. So imagine, I use orange because orange is a healing color. You can use orange, white, yellow, golden. Imagine you can manipulate light like Play-Doh. And if you can imagine it, you can create form with it. So you imagine that you have this pliable kind of stuff, and you apply it to, say you're feeling an ache on your neck. Or, start with the neck. Lots of times we have like daggers or stuff in our neck from past lifetimes, or, rope burns or whatever, implements from past life traumas. So imagine this part of your body that's injured. You put this Play-Doh like substance over it and just let it sit on that part of the body and like lay on it and like suck up all the negativity in your pores. And after a few moments, pull it out and see what you remove. It's kind of easy, right?
It's like
Were you
when
able
people go to a day spa and they do like a mud wrap.
No, don't do the mud wrap.
No?
Just stay. No, I mean, you can do that on your own. Just stay with this because some people are having a hard enough time with this one.
Okay.
John, can you do that? Can you visualize what I'm saying? Did you
Yes.
pull anything off you?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to do something with you. You basically have a knife in your back. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm
In my
right.
thoracic spine.
well, your spine isn't behind you, yeah, and the thoracic, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, there's one at T8 on the right side.
Okay.
And there might be one in the, you want to do the one in the abdomen first?
Sure.
Okay, because you said thoracic spine, but you were pointing to the one in your stomach.
Okay.
So, okay, imagine John doesn't have a shirt. And so I'm putting this thing on you, this Play-Doh like energy, right? Laying it on there. Oh, there's little ones in there too. There's like little dings in you too. So I'm pulling it up and there's one that's this long. And there's a couple that are this long. And then there's all these little pings in you. So I'm pulling this up and it's got all that in it, right? So what do you do with this now? All you do is roll it in a ball and throw it in the light and dissolve it. And then you grab another piece of clean energy. I'll do your back now if you want.
Yes.
There's a couple in your lower spine, close to your hip, close to the sacrum. They're jamming up. They have to do with your stubbornness. They have to do with being on a horse and being stubborn. So when you pull these out, you won't be so rigid in a couple certain ways where you don't give, because that flexibility is jammed open with these implements in between your thoracic bones. Okay.
Okay.
And then of course the one at T5 and T8. Do you feel it? Release? Did you see them? Now help me take this energy that's got all this crap in it, roll it in a ball, help it dissolve into that Play-Doh, and then just throw it back into the light. Do you guys get that?
Yes.
Okay, so that's part of, as simple as that, that's energy healing. But there's things inside, like how do you get stuff inside? So what you want to do is, in your imagination, your creativity, you can do anything, right? So you can actually dissect the body and energy, because not by cutting it or anything, just imagine it open like that. And so you can take a whole blob of this stuff and like make it a little bit looser and pour it into one of the lungs. Now, a lot of people's lungs, as they're getting older, get flabby. The little lobes, the lower lobes get like the lobes of the ear and just floppy. So what we're doing now is we're pouring this energy into one of the lungs. Now, no matter how you have to visualize it, so the lung is laying down and open, but there's all this mucus and all this plaque and everything in the lungs. So you're going to pour this healing energy into that one of the lungs. And it's not just pulling out So in the inside of the lungs are all these little pockets that are like accordions. They stretch open and close. So you're filling in all those little pockets and you're pulling out all the gunk in all those little pockets. And so you do the one lung, and when it's settled and everything, and you feel like it's made contact with all the stagnant energy on the inside of the lung, you pull it out really like you would something out of a pliable jello mold or something, a rubbery mold, and pull it out and pull all the gunk out of all those little alveoli, all those little orifices, and feel the firmness of the lung, how it went from being loose and floppy and flabby to being resilient and younger. Take the energy of what you got, and it's just gunk, it's all slimy. Throw it in your hands and throw it into the light. And do that with the other lung. What, baby?
Two thoughts came to my mind. This is a great technique for those that are smokers or have been smokers, and also those that have been afflicted with COVID.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you want to, use your imagination as much as possible without getting thoughts and opinions into it. So I've been doing this enough where I know how not to. I don't know how easy it is for other people, but I can even like take it one step further and take a syringe of young, youthful DNA, like baby DNA, and take DNA from you as a baby and insert it back into the lungs and reprogram the tissue of the body you're in now with the memory and exuberance of youthful cells. Are you getting this, Jody? Are you able to do this?
I am. I can picture everything. Thank you.
Okay. What, Therese?
Very clear.
Okay,
Well,
great.
Can you like do this for forests and the ocean? I mean, put some gel over it and pull out vines or something disturbing, or clean the ocean.
Ooh, let's do that. So imagine the whole, how about this? Because you got to be able to stretch your mind to the point of doing it. The ocean is really hard for me right now. How about Lake Ontario? It's as big as a small ocean, but it's contained, right? So
Yeah.
if you can stretch your mind to, what you do is stretch your intentions to the intention of being as big as a galaxy. See, you're not a human being, you're a galaxy. When you're doing healing, you're most effective when you stay out of being a human being. That's why it's important not to tell your story and your shit and stuff, because if you walk around like a human being, then you're a victim, you're limited. But if you walk around like a galaxy, and you can stay in being a galaxy, it may be a little bit hard to do mundane things, but you can do these big things like purify an ocean. So imagine yourself as big as a galaxy, and then you're looking down at Earth and you see this little pocket called Lake Ontario. So visualize taking a big clump, a fluid clump of this energy and immersing it into Lake Ontario and going all down you can all down on the bottom of the surface. So it's not solid. So the fish and everything are still fine. It's actually, see it as effervescence, where it can actually oxygenate the water again. So it's not like solid like Play-Doh. It's more like effervescent, Alka-Seltzer water, like bubbly and whatever. So immerse it into the lake. And then when it's all cleaned, you can feel it and the little bubbles stop. Pull all that energy out with your hands, roll it in a ball and dissipate it into the higher consciousness. So if you want to do that with all the lakes, all the oceans, just make your vantage point bigger. See the whole aura of the earth. pour, see the earth in the middle and in a container, like a plastic container. And so you're going to pour this effervescent energy all around the earth, and it's absorbed in all the water of the world. And then when you feel it, like collect all the crap, pull it out with your mind, and just pull it out around the earth, leave the earth and the oceans there, but just pull out this energy. Either roll it up in a ball or just slough it off into the others like this and dissipate it. Does that help?
Yeah.
You can do that with the inner earth. You can do that with the mountain ranges. How about all the rubble that humans leave? You can do it with old consciousness. Imagine that you're getting rid of the old consciousness of the 3D worlds on Earth. And so just pour this higher consciousness energy into it. And then when you feel it all pulled up, it's like all this rubble and everything, and just pull it up and release it into the others. Did I give you enough of that?
Yeah.
So the only
good.
thing is like, you have to be careful not to put your opinion on these things. Like, oh, I'm going to get rid of all the people who wear pink shorts, or I'm going to get rid of all the Karens or whatever. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You just have to make it as oblique and detached as possible, or else you're going into black magic. And then you don't want that. You don't want that experience, because what we're seeing happening in the world is the result of too many people delving in control and watching the effects of that. So you could actually, let's do this one more, because I know this is important to everybody. You'll like this one, Marvin. Let's pour this energy. It's not orange, though. This is blue effervescent. It's like sparkles. It's like oxygenated fluid energy. And it's going to absorb all the power, control, manipulation, tyrants. So we're going to like pour it all over the world and that cast of the earth and the earth's aura. And we're going to get rid of all those who are taking from others, all those businesses that are being ran by sociopaths and narcissists. And we're going to pull all that energy up and out. And once it's collected and everything, just pull it out. And it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. So it feels like wet blankets. But pull it out anyways, and with your intention, throw it into the others and dissolve it. Now that one, you're going to see that one manifest, actually. You're going to see these big, important people just crumble. Maybe even CEOs give up their jobs and say it's impossible or whatever.
Well,
you might.
The way I see it is that they're just softening up. I mean, it's not as if you're trying to take them out. It's just that you're changing their vantage point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I say they're going to crumble, I mean that hard edge of like, F you and, all that.
My way or
They're
the
gonna feel
highway,
the-
that kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's what crumbling means to me. And then they're going to feel vulnerable to the world and want to be a part of shifting consciousness. Because, by the way, the redemption, the whole concept of redemption has only one purpose. There's no such thing as punishment. There's no such thing as sin. There's no such thing as judgment as far as and the abstract worlds of energy. All there is changing your dynamics from taking to giving, from influx to outflow. So you don't have to wallow in the emotions of guilt, shame, restitution, whatever. All you have to do is, if you were a power taker and you hoarded all this energy, you're going to have to give back to the degree that you have taken.
Wow,
Right.
for some people, that's a lot.
Absolutely. Yep. So, so that's that. Are there any questions about any of that? That's a great technique for you guys to play with.
It is actually, and
Is it
the funny
possible?
thing. Sorry.
What?
No,
the
that's
funny
okay.
thing-
Go ahead.
I was just going to say really quickly, you remember yesterday, Jen, I was asking you, how can we just, clean up all the crud in the world in just sort of one big bang hit, right? Because that's kind of what kind of needs to happen. Well, that was just a great little, if a lot of people use that technique to clear out and then we could see a whole turning point in an instant.
Absolutely. And if all people just use that technique instead of like showing up to impress others and to shame them, like I'm better than you, I'm prettier than you, I'm smarter than you. If you showed up and said, hey, these are my gifts and I happily show up to give them to you. So show up, and I don't think I quite made it clear of how to do that or not. It's almost like have you ever met someone who's like really pretty but didn't act pretty, and they actually made you feel prettier for knowing them? Or someone who's smart and doesn't act smart, and they make you feel smarter for being around them? They make you feel better about yourself. Our whole purpose is to help uplift others, because we're honoring source that way. We're purifying source that way. Source isn't up there, it's all around us. So anything we can do to better the world around us is us uplifting source, and we may do it different. Yesterday I was zonked, and Marvin, he did the rugs again. He just did them last week and he did them again. I've never heard of something. Can you imagine someone cleans every single week? Who's ever heard of that? Anyways, I grew up in a bait store, so that's unheard of for me, but it's like, it's so clean here, and he cleaned up our whole environment. And as he's cleaning the floors, I felt a shift in consciousness. It's like I felt this upliftment from that. It's just amazing. And when he cleans, I've never been around someone who's doing their thing, cleaning, and doesn't shame me for not joining in and doing my part. So I've been around people my whole life who says, well, I'm doing this, you should feel bad that you're not joining. Why aren't you doing this? And Marvin doesn't do that. He just does his thing. And it's like, wow, this feels really good. I'm feeling bad, but I don't have to. He's not trying to make me feel bad. He's just happy to do his thing. And that is him doing him and just gifting me with that. It's amazing. Judy, Sally, you had a question?
It was me.
No, I know you did, but Sally's
Oh,
late went on
sorry.
first.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I actually
Sally,
muted
let me
Sally
just-
because there's a little bit of an audio thing going on. So that's why I
okay.
kind
So
of
were
muted Sally.
you trying to ask a question, or was it just your audio, Sally?
I really had a question, and now I'm not sure if I'll be able to articulate it properly, but you're basically answering my dilemmas, like exactly. So one, I want to thank you, because this is what I've been struggling with is
Don't tell us about the struggle. Tell us about the upgrade. When you do the struggle, you're doing that. This is great to show you. Shift your paradigm. You're so dynamic, and then you've been stuck in the dilemma. You want to tell us the dilemma. I can't get to your dynamo. I know you're dynamic. I know you're sweet. I know you're empowering. I can't get to that because you are so, you have been so violated that you want people to see how violated you are. And they can't because it's so raw and so deep that you're trying to tell them in words. And what it does is it pushes them away because they got too much pain of themselves. So instead of do that, use this whole technique for yourself and come forward and show me how beautiful, empowered, and skillful you are, because it's behind all that shit.
Well, it used to be that I would just show up and people would say, I don't know why, but I love being around you. And I just thought they were crazy. But, I just was me. I didn't do anything.
Right. And that's what we're talking about. And they're not crazy. You're not crazy.
I just wanted to say that I guess it was 2 days ago, I woke up and God gave me this download and I was mad at God because he was basically telling me that I needed to come up with a forum or a round table of healers, and we would just ignore everything and just be ourselves. And then I looked today and I saw, oh my gosh, Jen has a 5D forum. It's like the exact words. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have to do anything but show up. And I got so excited. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's interesting. So people are coming to me for healings all the time. This woman who I do regular sessions with had a heart attack. And so I wasn't able to get back to her. I wasn't meant to during that whole, horrible time. But I got back to her 2 days ago and I said, I know I haven't reached out to you, but energetically, I have been working with you. And actually, remember I did that whole thing with the heart and doing the cranial sacral on the heart? That was for this particular person who had just had a heart attack and like helping her heal it. And she goes, oh my gosh, she goes, someone came into my room in the hospital and they worked on my heart. I thought it was God, but it was you. And I go, yeah, that was me. And it's like, and it's so frustrating that God, this image of God gets credit for what we're doing. We're helping each other. We're doing it. Take credit. You're source. Source works through you. So stop giving credit to some imaginary man somewhere. We're all aspects of source. Start showing up as that. Wouldn't it be funny if God showed up and started bitching about how mean everyone is to him? Well, nobody ignores him and they all want something when they pray and they never give me anything. And that's what we do. If you want to be empowered, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, show up omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Don't whine and bitch about life because, whatever you went through to get here, you earned it. And we've all had our bouts with getting the right to be here together. We've all went through the shit storms. I mean,
everyone on this call and everyone on the universe has perpetually gone through 10 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Absolutely. That's what Marvin says is when I tire him out, he goes, I just went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. I know. But the thing is,
can I tell you something freaky? It's
yeah,
relevant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know how in last week's this event last week, you did all the medical intuitive and the cranial sacral and on, know, the freaky thing is that the lady that you're talking about, she emailed us about 10 minutes before we started the 5D forum. And I only saw, she emailed me for some reason, I think because I had I don't know why she emailed me, but we didn't get to it straight away. But you are actually doing that work like 10 minutes later without us even knowing that she was the one that needed to have done. So there you go.
Can you send her a copy of last week's 5D forum then?
Sure.
Just as a special case to help her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, good. Georgette, we didn't forget about you. It's just, do you remember what you were
Okay,
going to say?
no worries. Yeah, I was just, well, I just had a reflection of, we've had a lot of existences in this, life, and, using that technique, I was just feeling a sense of responsibility for times when I've maybe not been such a light being, shall we
Well,
say.
go back. There's no
And
time and space.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, that could be used for the times when I existed and I was just taking responsibility for that moment.
Absolutely. Also with the technique about cleaning out the lungs, and like, how can you do that without taking the body apart, right? People struggle with that. Like, you're not going to cut the body. How are you going to do that? Because you can like imagine the intestines and pour that energy through the intestines and let all this goo flush out the intestines and like flush it out into the light. And how can you do that without taking the body apart? But you're doing this energy work where there's no time or space. So the intestines are not related to the space between the organs and the skin and the skeletal. They exist on their own. All of the all of the cells of your body, all of the organs of your body, all of the bones of your body have consciousness. Another form of healing is to just simply talk to them. I remember going down the road with Trace, and when we were driving together, and I was trying to get her to eat ice cream, and she's so proud and whatever, like, no, I don't eat ice cream. I don't eat ice cream. I'm trying to get her to eat ice cream. And it was like, on some level, it would sound invasive because I was like really trying to get her to eat sugar. And she was really proud. No, I don't do that. I'm too spiritual. I don't know what the story is, but we were trained in this cult that if you're spiritual, you don't eat this, you don't do that, right? It was kind of like the spiritual elite. You have to show up a certain way or else you're not spiritual. And it's like, screw that. Something in her wanted ice cream. So she had a little bit of ice cream, and it's like her cells in her body were so freaking happy. It's like I could see the cells of her body. They were consciousness. They were little beings, and they wanted ice cream really bad. They needed that sugar. And I remember you got a buzz from that, and you finally realized what your cells were doing, right?
Yeah, I remember. I could feel it. I could feel the happiness.
So I had this when I was doing massage therapy really young, years ago. I did this client who had an old scar on his leg, and it was like from childhood, so it was a real old scar. And I'm massaging him, and I didn't even understand what abilities I had already collected from past lifetimes or stuff. So I'm just massaging him, and he was going out of the body, and he's struggled with unworthiness and everything. So I'm doing this massage, and I come to that scar, and I'm rubbing it just like I would any other part of the body. And he had went into an altered reality while he's receiving the massage, and he's flying out of his body. He's flying by all these houses, and then there was a window, and there were these little cells in the window. So the house is represented, the cells stacked in his body. In biology, you see, like squares are represented as cells. Well, he flew by this window, and these little cells had little faces, and they were sleeping. And then when I rubbed his scar, these little cells saw him looking at him, and they woke up like that, and they were ashamed and embarrassed. It still makes me cry. They were ashamed and embarrassed that he caught them sleeping. And so he told me the story, and he was crying because he felt compassion for these little cells. So if you can't feel love for yourself as a whole, go into parts of your body. And we all are caregivers in some way. Go into the parts of your body that have been neglected and love on them. And make it about the individual parts of your body instead of thinking of your body as a dead thing that you're just walking around in. It's not like that. It's a whole metropolis. Your beingness is a metropolis that you are the god of. So everything that your body receives is because of the grace of what you give it and allow it. So instead of thinking, oh no, unworthy, I'm unworthy, think of all the consciousnesses within yourself that you're depriving when you do that. And shift that one paradigm in yourself, and you'll be amazed. Okay. What do you think? So I wanted to do some taps for people, and I was like, how can I empower people? And I don't know do you remember what we were talking about, Trace, when we decided about the dragon body, how important the dragon body was? And I said, we're going to do it. You remember?
Was about stepping up and helping what you're doing.
Oh, okay. So that's another thing that shifted from, thank you for that. There's another thing that shifted from the live stream last week and the one before that. The one before that, I was vulnerable. I was like raw. I was doing it on my own. It was like I was like being beaten up and stuff, and it was too much for just me. And so then and then I think people who are on this call saw, like Michelle showed up, Therese showed up, Marvin realized how much I needed him to like put boundaries there and everything. And so when you guys showed up, and I think Carmen, you were doing that too. I don't know who else was on the call.
So Georgette
Audrey
was
and
definitely
Ashna.
doing it.
And Georgette, yeah. So what happened is when you guys stepped up and you helped and you protected my shanks or whatever, ranks or whatever it's called, that allowed me to do more of staying in my lane and just doing my thing. I didn't have to like defend myself on the talk thing or worry about the attacks I was getting in energy. You guys were buffering me, so then I could hold that space for the healing part that I needed to do. The week before, I was trying to protect myself and all the different levels of consciousness and do the energy work. So it's almost like talking to someone who have a serious contest and fighting with the other hand. And it was just too much. So thank you guys for showing up. And imagine when we do that in the collective. Imagine when we do that more and more for each other instead of just show up, and having a pissing contest with each other. Imagine how when we become more protective, like motherly and nurturing and vested in each other.
Janet, it seems connected to what you were getting at, where you're showing up as your authentic strength and
yeah,
we are helping each other by doing that.
Absolutely. And you're showing that's going into the collective. And so usually when we show up now, we're used to being shown up and trying to hide our vulnerability and our weaknesses. But we don't have to do that anymore because we got each other's back. We can, I don't know what Patricia's saying, it's distracted. Are you saying something here, Patricia?
Someone just came in the room and I was explaining that I'm on a call.
Oh, okay. So anyways, you guys want to get to doing some taps for the collective to help all those awakening?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, 3 on the head, 1's on the chest, 1's on the abdomen.
So I'm just going to mute everyone. But when I do that, Jen, you're just going to have to unmute yourself because unfortunately you're going to get muted as well.
Okay,
So go ahead and unmute yourself. No, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to do it on the icon. All right. Ready? All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their tail in all moments. Baby, before you go on, you should give people a little bit of context. So all of these taps are in relation to the dragon body. So can you just explain to people?
Well, so people with this shows up in my sessions a lot. It seemed like abstract and stuff, but when I do taps of people being abandoned on Earth, being left here by their tribe, losing their tail, these are the taps that make a huge impact on people feeling empowered. So sometimes with my imagination, I see us all underneath the earth in dragon bodies, and these little people are that images of us in our people form are little icons or mimes that have experiences on the earth, but we're really dragons underneath or whatever. So it gets really surreal and stuff. So I don't like to interpret too much for what it means to people, but a lot of people relate to the dragons, and if they don't relate to dragons, they relate to angels or adepts. So this is a way to empower ourselves as much as possible. I always remember during the Crusades, when Crusades was all about like snuffing out female energy and making it all about male energy or Western energy, that I remember from childhood, all these knights would go and slay the dragon. And they was like, that was a big deal to bring down a dragon. And now I really resonate with the dragon. It's like, oh, these knights, what were they slaying? Were they actually slaying beings of higher consciousness and bragging that they're perpetuating ignorance in the world? So does that help, or that makes it worse, babies?
No, I think I think it's useful to have a little bit of context.
I love it when Marvin asks me for a straight answer, and then the answer he gets is not the answer he was expecting. He always has that face, that cute look on his face, like confused and agreeable.
Get used to it, babies.
It's, yeah. All tails are reattached in all moments.
All tails are reattached in all moments. All tails are reattached in all moments. All tails are reattached in all moments. All tails are reattached in all moments. All tails are reattached in all moments.
All tails are operable and healed in all moments.
All tails are operable and healed in all moments. All tails are operable and healed in all moments. All tails are operable and healed in all moments. All tails are operable and healed in all moments. All tails are operable and healed in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their wings in all moments.
All wings are reattached and operable in all moments.
All wings are reattached and operable in all moments. All wings are reattached and operable in all moments. All wings are reattached and operable in all moments. All wings are reattached and operable in all moments. All wings are reattached and operable in all moments.
All wings are healed in all moments.
All wings are healed in all moments. All wings are healed in all moments. All wings are healed in all moments. All wings are healed in all moments. All wings are healed in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their scales in all moments.
All scales are reattached and operable in all moments.
All scales are reattached and operable in all moments. All scales are reattached and operable in all moments. All scales are reattached and operable in all moments. All scales are reattached and operable in all moments. All scales are reattached and operable in all moments.
All skin and scales are healed in all moments.
All skin and scales are healed in all moments. All skin and scales are healed in all moments. All skin and scales are healed in all moments. All skin and scales are healed in all moments. All skin and scales are healed in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their energy, halo, or Wei Qi in all moments.
All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments.
All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments. All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments. All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments. All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments. All energy, halo, and Wei Qis are repaired, strengthened, and returned in all moments.
All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments.
All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments. All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments. All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments. All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments. All energy systems are healed, recharged, and ignited in all moments.
All those awakening release all the burden, muscle memory, engrams, and programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments.
All those awakening release all the burden, muscle memory, engrams, and programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments. All those awakening release all the burden, muscle memory, engrams, programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments. All those awakening release all the burden, muscle memory, engrams, programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments. All those awakening release all the burden, muscle memory, engrams, programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments. All those awakening release the burden, muscle memory, engrams, programming and conditioning that oppressors have put on them in all moments.
All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments.
All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments. All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments. All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments. All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments. All those awakening release the shame, unworthiness, abandonment, and victim consciousness of living in the lower worlds in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments.
All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments. All those awakening release the trauma of losing their fire in all moments.
All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments.
All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments. All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments. All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments. All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments. All fire, voices, and breath are returned in all moments.
All empowerment is returned in all moments.
All empowerment is returned in all moments. All empowerment is returned in all moments. All empowerment is returned in all moments. All empowerment is returned in all moments. All empowerment is returned in all moments.
All those awakening are untethered and free in all moments.
All those awakening are untethered and freed in all moments. All those awakening are untethered and freed in all moments. All those awakening are untethered and freed in all moments. All those awakening are untethered and freed in all moments. All those awakening are untethered and freed in all moments.
All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments.
All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments. All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments. All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments. All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments. All those awakening are reminded how to fly in all moments.
All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments.
All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments. All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments. All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments. All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments. All those awakening reconnect with their dragon bodies, angelic realms, and their adept consciousness in all moments.
All those awakening return to the skies, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments.
All those awakening return to the skies, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments. All those awakening return to the skies, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments. All those awakening return to the sky, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments. All those awakening return to the skies, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments. All those awakening return to the skies, their perches, and places of empowerment in all moments.
The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments.
The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world is centered and empowered in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments.
The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life and the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments.
The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments. The world resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the awakening of all dragons, angels, and adepts in all moments.
I got another one. A trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments.
1 trillion encouraging intentions are expounded out to source.
Expound out to source in all moments.
1 trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments. 1 trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments. 1 trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments. 1 trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments. 1 trillion encouraging intentions expound out to source in all moments.
One more. Just a second. 1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from me in all moments. Expound out from us in all moments.
1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from us in all moments. 1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from us in all moments. 1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from us in all moments. 1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from us in all moments. 1 trillion acts of kindness expound out from us in all moments.
Does anybody on here sing to themselves or whatever? Nobody sings?
I sing to myself. I
Can
sing
you
with
sing-
you sometimes.
Can you sing us something?
Oh gosh, on the spot.
Therese
All right.
and Angela, get your songs ready. Yep.
How many times do I have to tell you? Even when you cry and you're beautiful too, the world keeps spinning down, all around, in every. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythmly blues. Can't stop this ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. All of me loves all of you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. Something
Give
like
you
that.
all of me. How many times do you have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too.
The world keeps spinning me down, around, and every move. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythmly. Can't stop singing this, ringing in my head for you. Head underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind.
Awesome. Thank you. Just by doing that, you're shifting consciousness. You're encouraging people. It's almost like anything that's creative or kind or pure was tried to snuff out of the world. And just you putting the ego aside and saying, okay, yeah, I'll do that. That's amazing. Okay, Angela, you're up.
You want to sing with me? Or?
I want to hear you sing.
Okay, she's
Yeah,
got her.
quit using your kid as a crutch.
I
Come on.
know I am. I can sense it. Okay. All right. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Come, let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again.
That was beautiful.
John
It's
Denver.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It
He
was
was a
like
pretty special dude.
you could watch it empower your child. It's like you make, and it's like what motherhood is like making yourself totally vulnerable and even a victim of life to empower someone else. And it's like, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, Trace. Trace is a professional singer, so this should be perfect.
Thank you.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
This must be why I was singing this the last couple of days. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you in worn out shoes, silver hair, a ragged shirt, and baggy pants, the old soft shoe. He jumped so high, and then he'd lightly touch down. I met him in a cell in New Orleans that was down and out. I'm going to skip a little. He let go a laugh, he let go a laugh, shook back his clothes all around. He said, I dance now at every chance I get in honky tonks for drinks and tips.
You judged. You cut out the part where the dog died because you put a judgment there that you didn't want to sing that part.
I judged. I didn't judge the dog part, but yeah, it was like, yeah, I judged.
You judged,
Yeah.
and then you came out of your center.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite songs.
It was better in the shower.
Well, thank you for letting us all visualize you. Thank us for taking you into the shower where you're naked. We appreciate that. Come on, John, what's your song? Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
There's probably a reason I'm on mute, but the only thing I can think of is You Are My Sunshine. And I don't even know all the words to that, but One's 5-year-old loves it. So I play it for her, taking her to school in the morning.
Well, sing it for Evelyn then.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That's awesome. So now, did you notice, like, obviously John's not a professional singer because he only knows one song, but did you see how him getting over himself and singing for that? What did the rest of us do? We were rooting for him, not in the Australian sense, but the American sense. We were cheering him on. and
Baby, that just never gets old, that joke.
But babies, we're not rooting for him in the Australian way. What are you gonna say? So anyway, so it makes, when people are in their ego, it like, and then they leave from the ego, it takes something away from them. We cringe and recoil within ourselves and hide behind our ego to get away from it. And when they show up beyond their ego, it allows us all to peek out of our egos and to encourage them. And that's what we need to do in the world, is show up vulnerable, imperfect, aside from the ego, and allow others to shine, allow others to like see what it's like to be vulnerable and that it's safe. Anyways, that was beautiful. Who else? Oh, Angela, Angie, I got one for you. I was singing a song this morning that I learned in chorus when I was 10 years old. And I go, Angie knows the song. I bet you do. So could I just see if you know the song, Angie? She'll probably know the words that I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay, so this is from choir. Oh, where and oh, where has my Highland laddie gone? He's gone to fight the foe with King George upon the throne. Do you know it? That's all I know.
I don't know the words.
Oh, well, maybe in a past life.
Sorry.
I don't know why they were teaching us that and when we were 10, but anyways, I thought it was for you. Sally has one. Yes, you do. You at least know I Am Woman.
I can sing along if someone does it, but I could not fathom what lines to say even.
We can't do a sing along here, can we? Because of the it's either one or the other. Is there a setting where we can all sing
Such a
together?
shame.
Sorry,
I love to sing.
If
with
one's
people.
singing, if one's singing, then everyone else is muted out, right?
I mean, you can try. Just
okay.
Put yourself, take yourself off mute, and then just everyone sing along.
Okay, so this is like this song. I like this song, but it's female energy. It's kind of obsolete because it's female energy doing female empowerment in male energy, and that's the flaw in it. You'll know what I mean when we start. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back to pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before. I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna kick me down again. Oh, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look how much I've gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. Come on, everyone.
I am invincible.
I am woman. Hey, you guys, doesn't it look like Therese has a tail when you see that tail come up behind her?
I've got
Therese,
a lighter going.
Your tail was swaying with me. It was so funny. You couldn't see the cat, only your tail. Watch this back and you'll see what I mean. Babies, you want to sing one of yours?
I don't have one. I really don't.
You know what? I know that I'm changing this man's consciousness because he sings around the house once in a while.
I don't even sing in the shower. I heard you sing in the shower the other day.
Yeah. Oh, I was like feeling really depressed, so I was singing this chair song. I can't even say chair. How do you say chair? CHER. And it's like this really pathetic. It's about a stripper who had a really rough life. And do you guys know it? Feeling broken, hardly holding on. But there's something so strong somewhere inside me. I may be down, but don't count me out. You know it, Carmen. Come on, sing it for us.
I'm trying to learn it. Go.
I've been brought down on my knees. I've been pushed way past the point of breaking, but I can take it. I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Anyways,
The
we got
The interesting thing is that in the Friday Night Live, the last one, if people watch the video back, it was a pretty good event. But you were just pulling out songs just like that. And it's just, I don't understand how you have the recall of, you know, the lyrics to thousands of songs. And here's the funny thing. When I listen to, I haven't listened to the radio in like 20 years, right? And we don't have the TV on. So, but I've got a reasonably good collection of music, which I never listen to, which is an interesting thing. So when I do listen to songs, I don't retain the lyrics. It's like I'm just enjoying it in the moment. And then after that, I could not recall the lyrics. I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
Well, it's called not having any friends or not having any crutches as a child. It's called hanging on for dear life through the words and vicarious living of the songs.
Wow.
Angie, you got one?
I can't remember all the words, but I know the first verse.
Okay.
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, there once was a girl called sweet Molly Malone. As she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, ho. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. And I just can't remember the other two.
That's amazing. I know that song. I learned that song when I was 4 years old. I've never heard anyone sing it before. Who else? Come on, Audrey.
Oh, please.
I know. See, I know who not to bother with this. Jody? You guys want to hear my theme song?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this group thing, and actually the chairs, I can't say the word chair. How do you say it? I went to, they gave me that song as my theme song. That was mine, Feeling Broken. And you're supposed to sing that to uplift yourself. And it's like, no, I'm not going to sing I'm feeling broken for the rest of my life. You're supposed to use that song as an anthem. So I changed my song from that song to this one. Doctors had come from distant cities just to see me stand over my bed, disbelieving what they're seeing. They said I must be one of the wonders God's own creation. And as long as I see, they can offer no explanation. Ooh, faith met destiny. Laughed as they came to my mother. You know the words, Carmen. What is it?
I'm trying to learn it as you go. I've never heard this song.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trace, you know it.
Yeah, but I don't remember the words.
Laughed as my body she lifted. Now this child will be gifted with love and patience. Google it. I don't know, but anyways.
What's the title of the song?
I don't know, but the singer is she's got black hair, and yeah, it's not Sarah McLaughlin or whatever, or Brightman. I don't know. Anyways, people do homework. Come back and sing it, Carmen, next week, okay? Ooh.
I Google a lot of the the songs you sing on your sessions, and they're really
Wow.
That's cool. Georgette, you got one?
I've only got one that comes to mind at the moment.
Okay.
I hear the voice of my grandmother's calling me. I hear the voice of my grandmother's calling me. Wake up, she said, wake up, listen, 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 listen. May the waters all run clear. May the mountains be unspoiled. Let the air be clean, the trees grow tall, the earth is shared by all. I hear the voice of my grandmother calling me. I hear the voice of my grandmother calling me. Wake up, she said, wake up, listen, 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 listen. Sorry, I got nervous.
Cool.
That's beautiful. Don't apologize after something like that. Wow, that's beautiful. All right, Mike, let's hear it.
Okay. From this valley, they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. Please remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. That's all I know.
I know an alternate version of that. You want to hear the one my mother sang us to bed with?
Yeah.
May I sleep in your barn tonight, mister? It is cold lying out on the floor, and the cold north winds are whistling, and I have no place to lay down. My wife was willing and able. Please let this poor stranger in our home. So she begged me till I fell upon it, and we let the stranger in our home. One night I came home from my workshop. I was whistling and singing with joy. I expected a kind, hearty welcome from my sweet, loving wife and my boy. So he gets home and he gets a Dear John letter from his wife. She left with a Dear Stranger. I forget the last verse. Yeah. Sweet memories. Sweet memories. Lochi?
I don't really have a song.
You don't? All right. Michelle?
Okay. Today, while the blossom still clings to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you reckon?
Babies, you don't want to try it, babies? You know the John Denver one?
Which one?
And I'm looking for space.
Oh, we can sing it together. Because I honestly don't know the words. I can hum along to it, but I don't know the words.
No, you know the words. And
really.
I'm looking for
Into
come on, babies.
space.
In space. And to find
out who I am. And I look into know and understand. It's a sweet, sweet, whatever. I don't know what the words are.
Sometimes I'm almost
there. Sometimes I fly like an eagle, and sometimes I do something else.
Sometimes I'm deep in despair.
There you go.
Sometimes I fly like an
Like an
eagle.
Like an eagle flying high. Something like that. I can
Babies,
sing along to it, but I honestly don't have the recall of the words.
babies, that was beautiful. You swoo me, babies. You swoo me.
Thank you, babies.
So Patricia has opted out. So we can't ask Patricia, but yeah, this was wonderful. I'm impressed. Now, if we would have done this like a month ago, everyone would have said, no, I couldn't do this. No, please don't. No. And it's like, it shows the growth in everyone. It's like amazing.
All right. We might, if
Patricia's back. We've been waiting. We've all been waiting for your song.
Oh, sorry. My daughter's in from out of town, and I'm, can I take a rain check?
No, because if you take a rain check, what you're doing is you're holding us paralyzed in energy, saying you owe us, I owe you. And so that's a form of holding people paralyzed in energy. Okay. So either now or never.
Okay. Childhood song.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I'm trying to find my key. All right. Once there was a, oh God, I can't.
Little old ant.
Yes.
Think he grew. Come
on. Once there was a little old ant, thought he'd move a rubber tree plant. Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he had high hopes. He had high hopes. He had high apple pie in the sky hope. So anytime you're feeling sad, instead of feeling sad, just remember that ant. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
That's so freaking awesome. Thank you.
A little optimism goes a long way.
That's awesome.
Cool bananas.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. This has been really great. And I like what we're receiving and given in energy is so beyond the words and the ability to convey it. And I hope you guys are receiving an energy, the intention here of the adepts and what we're really doing here. We really, I mean, this is, we're raising consciousness, and we're putting form to the formless. So thank you all for being here. This is powerful, and I'm so grateful for all of you.
Oops. All right. Take a look at the most recent Jen's Gem. It's called Making Love in Higher Consciousness. It's not just a clickbait title. There is actually some content in there. So that's all. That should be fun. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.